Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video, and today's video is another video in my series from my Totally Techniques online club. This is a club that anybody can join. All you have to do is place a minimum $30 order with me between the 1st and 22nd of each month, and then using my special host code, and then after the 22nd, then I create a technique, I film a video, I create all the cards, and I mail them out to everyone in the club. You must let me know that you want to join the club by sending me an email, barb@barbstamps.com. And then after you've ordered with me for 6 consecutive months, then I will gift you with a $30 gift certificate. So these are some techniques that we've learned so far. We've got the water wash technique. So you can see that every participant gets a greeting card, plus they get a technique card with the sample of the technique and the directions on the back. We've done the baby swipe technique. We've got the inlaid embossing. We've got the triple time stamping. This one is called grid lines. We've got scrappy strips. And then last month I did the easy peasy shaker card. So this month we're going to be learning how to make your own stamps. And in my card for today, I'm going to be using the flowering cactus product medley, which is a set of stamps with coordinating dies, a 6x6 package of 48 sheets of designer series paper, 8 sheets of die cut flower felt pieces, and then some linen thread in natural and calypso coral. I do have an online class using this bundle. The card that I'm going to show you today is not in the class. The cards in my class are exclusive to the class. I don't share them anywhere. And you can get the class free by ordering my special bundle of products. If you have all the things you need, you can order my online class plus a pre-cut cardstock kit and supply bundle, or you can just get the online class. All of the links to this will be in the description below this video. And lastly, I wanted to talk about Stamp Happy Academy. It's a collaboration between myself, Dina Rico, and Kelly Atchison, my 2 Stampin' besties. And it is a subscription website that you can access at stamphappyacademy.ning.com. You have 3 different options for your membership. You have the basic, which includes 4 online classes a month. That flowering cactus class is one of them that you would get in that membership. Plus, we each have a kit class, and you have access to the online versions of all 4 of those. The premium membership includes everything in the basic membership, plus it also includes Stamp Happy Live, which is 3 live classes each month, one from each of us, showing you different layouts, different color combinations, and kind of just how to use what you may already have and incorporate it into some new projects. So again, check it out, stamphappyacademy.ning.com. So here we go. The video is going to show you how to create your own stamps and do a fun masking technique. So I'm going to be using the flowering cactus dies that are in the product medley, and I have been wanting this particular die to be a stamp. We have these other 2 cactus images in the stamp set, and I just was thinking this would make a great stamped image. So I thought, well, why don't I just make a stamp for it? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be using our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is an adorable little thing, very portable, very tiny, but it packs a big wow. So what we're going to do with it is we're just going to run a piece of fun foam. Yep, probably something your kids have in their craft bucket. This is where I got my fun foam. And we're just going to make our sandwich as it states on the platform here. We need number 1 and we need 2 number 2s, which is these plates here. They're both numbered. And we're just going to make our little sandwich here, and we're going to run it through the machine. Sorry that it's wiggly. My table is not super sturdy. Okay. And then what we get, look at that, is a beautiful die cut image out of fun foam that we can now use as a stamp. So what I recommend is cutting 2 of them so you have some extra cushion for your stamping. And we're also going to set them up so they can be on a clear block. So what I do is I have the 2 die cut pieces here. Now there's a right side and a wrong side, and you can kind of tell the difference. This one's a little more muted, not quite as detailed as this one here. So this is actually the side that you're going to want to put the ink on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adhere these 2 little cactuses together, or cacti, however you want to say it. And so I'm just going to lay them down on the table, and I'm just going to stick them together. Easy. So now I have a little double rubber stamp here. Well, it's not really rubber, it's fun foam. But I want to put it on one of my cling blocks so I can actually use it. So Stampin' Up! Does sell something in the catalog called cling adhesive. It's located on page 162 with all of our other adhesives, and I believe it's $8 and you get 6 sheets in the package. So that's plenty for you to do all kinds of creating your own stamps. The way you use this stuff is, it was designed to help our old style clear mount stamps. Now we have 2 different styles of foam and red rubber stamps. We have the old style clear mount stamps that didn't really have a very good sticky property with them. So the stickers also did not stick very well. I never used them because they didn't stick that great, and the foam itself doesn't stick the greatest. So we're going to go ahead and convert this really quickly, and then we'll make our stamp. So all you need to do is you just peel off a strip of the paper. And this, I'm going to peel off a couple strips because my stamp is a little bit large. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to press my stamp onto that. And that's going to put a little piece of that adhesive onto my stamp. So then when I actually put it on my block, it actually sticks and then it peels right off. So that's what this stuff was designed for, to help our old style clear mount stamps become cling stamps. Now our new stamps, if it says cling stamp up here rather than clear mount, they have the new stickers. So if you do like the stickers and you want to put them on your stamps, these are the ones that will stick. But if you have some old style Stampin' Up! Stamps and they do say clear mount stamp set, then that's the perfect way for you to get those to stick. So that is also the way we are going to get our little cactus stamp that we've just created to stick on our block. So I'm just going to peel off a couple of these paper backings and I'm going to expose the adhesive. Okay, so the adhesive that is exposed is actually super sticky, and you're going to want to put that on your actual stamp. So we're just going to go ahead and lay our cactus down, press it, and then I'll just peel it up. And there I have some cling adhesive. So now all I have to do is stick it on my block and I have a cling stamp. And then it does come off the block fairly easily. It's super sticky right now, so it does take a little bit of pull, but there we have it, and there we have a stamp. So now we're going to go ahead and use it to create an amazing project. We're going to use a masking technique to create this project, and here are my paper pieces. I've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz that's 8.5 by 5.5. A piece of basic white that's 3.5 by 4 3/4, and then a layer of Highland Heather that's 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So we're going to start out by stamping on our layer of white, and we're going to be using our fun new stamp. So I am going to ink it up in Pear Pizzazz ink, and I do recommend inking it up more than you would normally ink up a rubber stamp or a photopolymer stamp, because this is a little more porous, and so it's going to like suck up the ink a little bit more, so you want to get it nice and inky. And then we're just going to stamp it right here on the edge of our cardstock. And look at that. I could have gotten some more ink, but I'm going to cover this up with a piece of paper, so it's going to be fine. So now I want to use another color. Well, I just happen to have created another stamp for myself. So I want to use Mossy Meadow, but I want the cactuses to appear that they are standing in front, one standing in front of the other. So what I do is I stamp the image on a piece of copy paper, just plain simple copy paper, and I'm going to lay it on top of the image that I just stamped. Now I'm going to lay it down so that there is a tiny bit of the stamped image showing. I don't want my paper to be covering the stamped image. I want a tiny bit of it to still be showing. So then I'm going to ink up this stamp, and this pad is a little juicier, it's a little darker, so that didn't take too long to ink that up at all. And then I'm just going to stamp this a little bit above and to the left, or excuse me, to the right of the image that I already stamped. Okay, and then when I peel that off, I have the cactus that appear that they are behind each other. So then I'm going to bring in my heart-shaped cactus image that I think is just amazing, and I'm going to ink that up in some Pear Pizzazz. But I want to add a little bit of detail to it. I want it to actually look a little more realistic. So I'm going to bring in a sponge dauber, and I'm going to tap a little bit of that ink off, and then I am just going to come around the edge here with some Mossy Meadow ink. Just kind of adding this. You can already see how that's a little bit darker. So I can actually come back in and get it super dark right on the edge. That way I can add even more detail. Now I'm going to huff on it. That just re-moistens the ink. I'm going to bring my little mask back in. And again, like I did before, I'm going to put it to the edge of the stamped image, but I want a little bit of that stamped image to still show. Okay, so now we're going to stamp this image about like this. And we missed it a tiny bit, but we can go ahead and put a little flower there when we're done. All right, so now we're going to move on to our next cactus. So I'm going to cover this piece now. So I also have a piece, this image die cut or cropped. I just used scissors. I stamped it on a piece of copy paper and cut it out. So you can see I've got a little bit of that image still showing. I'm going to use my Pear Pizzazz again with this little, with my own stamp. And I'm going to stamp that about like this. Okay. And so there again, we have a cactus behind another cactus. This is so much fun. I just love the scenes that you can create doing this. Now my final cactus is going to be the one that I call a multi-cactus because it does have a lot of images, a lot of cactuses on it, I feel. And so I'm going to need to bring in my mask again for my tall cactus. And again, putting it so that there's a tiny bit of the stamped image showing. I'm going to ink this up in my Mossy Meadow. And then I'm just going to stamp it right here on the edge of that cactus. Okay. And there we have our fun built scene using our own stamp, which is the coolest thing ever. And now I did find that stamps or die cuts that have a little bit of detail in them do work the best. Like as you can see in this cactus die, there is a lot of embossed detail that you get from the die when you run it through the machine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to decorate this. So I want to add a sentiment. So I'm going to add accents with Highland Heather. So I'm going to start out by stamping a sentiment. So I've got the I'm always here for you sentiment, and I'm just going to stamp that right across the top here. There we go. And then the stamp set does come with these adorable little flowers, and I'm going to stamp a few of them. I'm going to stamp them in Highland Heather, and then I'm also going to stamp them in Magenta Madness, which I thought was kind of an interesting combination, but I feel like it works. So I need 2 Highland Heather, and I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Chamois, and I'm going to clean my stamp off really well. And then I'm going to bring in my Magenta Madness ink. Here we go. And we're going to ink that up. And we're going to get ourselves a set of those as well. Now there is a tiny little die in the stamp set or in the bundle that crops these little flowers out. So I'm going to take these to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, cut them out, and I'll be right back. All right, here are my little flowers. Now I also have a strip of the Designer Series paper that comes in the product medley. Here are the papers. So you can see there is a pattern in here that actually can be cut out with the dies in the die set, which is really cool. And then we have all these fun floral and cactus patterns. And I went ahead and chose, which one did I choose? This one here, this kind of dotted image there. And so I do have a 3/4 inch by 4 3/4 inch strip of that I'm going to add to the card with my seal adhesive. Oops. So we're going to add this along the bottom, and then this is going to kind of cover up, you know, some of the issues that we had. And then I'm going to bring in a pair of scissors, and I actually did not cut this correctly, so easy enough to fix. We'll just trim off the excess, and there we go. All right, so these little flowers, I've got the Highland Heather and the Magenta Madness. I'm going to adhere these with mini Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of each one. There we go. Then I'm going to take all the paper backings off. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to kind of place the flowers. So I'm going to bring in one of the purple ones. This is a large one, and this is where I'm going to cover up my little ink mistake right there. No problem. This little guy, I'm going to add to the side of this cactus right here. And this other large one, excuse me, I'm going to add to the bottom right down here, kind of over the edge of the Designer Series paper. And now I have these fun Magenta Madness. Place that right there. I have the large Magenta Madness one, and this one I'm going to kind of completely cover this part of this cactus. There we go. And then my final small Highland Heather I'm going to put right at the top of this cactus here. Look how cute that is. I'm going to bring in the twine or the linen thread that's included in the set. And I'm going to use the natural. And I am going to wrap this around a couple of times, go underneath my flowers. There we go. Come back around. And I'm going to tie this into a bow. Get it nice and tight. I want my bow to be, somewhere over here near the edge. There we go. And then we're just going to manipulate it a little bit, getting the loops to the size that we want them. And then we will trim that off. And again, we'll just kind of manipulate it into place. I think I want to move it over just a tad. There we go. So cute. Now, sometimes your bows or knots are not super flat. They're not really nice and tight. Well, here is a nice little trick for you. So I'm going to pull this taut. Okay. And I'm going to come around to the back with it. Get both of those strands in my hand. And I'm going to add a little piece of Scotch tape. Okay, to make that nice and tight. And then all I have to do is the same on this edge. So I will pull this taut, put the tape down, and then you can see all that excess that I wasn't so good at tying, because I'm not the best bow tire when it's around a piece of cardstock. I'm not going to lie. All right, so then I'm going to add some seal adhesive to this layer here. There we go, some right there, some right there. And we're going to add that to our layer of Highland Heather. Isn't that the cutest card? Those two colors together with those little flowers just make me so happy. Don't forget that my online class for this product medley is available right now. There's 3 ways to buy it, and I do have those linked in the description of this video. The best way is to purchase the entire bundle of products from me, and that way you get your pre-cut cardstock pieces and the online class for free. Or if you already have all the pieces, like if you're a demonstrator, you can, or if you have the products, I should say, you can get just the cardstock kit and a little small supply kit from me that's got some of the products that we are using in the class. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? So that is my card for you guys today. I do want to add one more little thing. We do have some of these really cute pastel pearls. And there are some dark purple ones at the bottom here. You can see I did try to color one with one of my Stampin' Blends markers, but I didn't end up using it. And it did color pretty nicely. I just thought if I added one little pearl right down here in the corner, that would just add a fun little trick. So there it is. I do have another card in the different color. Let me bring that in here. So I have another one just using Calypso Coral, but I actually thought I was going to maybe try to add some other flowers to this because I thought it was so cute. And here's the instruction cards. I've got a few of these done for my girls, and these go out in the mail along with their greeting cards. So remember, this is a fun way to make your own stamps, and then you can create with them. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. All the links are in the description. Please give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out, and I appreciate it. And subscribe to my channel right down here in the corner. I hope you have a great day.